Hello and welcome back to Hobbies by Holly. Today I am transforming this Ethan Allen cabinet. The top, as you see, was already painted and the body had quite a bit of damage, so painting was really my best option. But I did sand the top back to raw wood and stain it, so stick around for this transformation. As always, I first start by removing all of the hardware and then give it a thorough cleaning. My go-to is Dawn dish liquid and water. Then I got out the carbide scraper trying to get this paint off the top, but that just didn't cut it. So I went and bought a DeWalt orbital sander, and it was amazing. I started with the 80 grit and slowly but surely was able to completely remove the stain. The body had quite a few dimples and imperfections, so I went in with my Bondo wood filler to cover them up and eventually smooth everything out before painting. This is one of those extra steps and it makes quite a huge difference in your final finish. As you can see, there were many areas that needed attention. I used a sanding sponge to get to the front of the cabinet. I'm using 120 grit here. And then the hardware was really hard to remove. I couldn't figure it out, so I went ahead and just covered it up with painter's tape. I don't like to paint the actual hardware. Then I was back using my DeWalt orbital sander on the top, and I started, of course, with the 80 grit to remove the stain, and then moved up through 120, then 150 grit, 180, and finally 220 for a really smooth finish. Then I applied mineral spirits. This is something you can easily wipe on that will dry quickly, but this helps you see if you left any swirl marks or imperfections. It gives you a good idea of what the actual stain will look like once it's applied. And before any paint went on, I made sure to protect that raw wood top with saran wrap and painter's tape. I didn't want a single drop of paint touching it. And she's ready for paint. So I used my Ben spray paint primer. You got to be careful with pine wood. There are a lot of knots and tannins that can bleed through, so definitely put multiple coats of primer. After primer, you can see the imperfections more clearly, so I went back in with my Bondo wood filler and then sanded it back down. And then it was time for Fusion mineral paint. I used the color Newell. This was my first time using Fusion mineral paint, and I have to say I am very pleased. I applied it with my sprayer for a smooth, even finish. After 2 coats of the Fusion mineral paint, she was ready to be stained. So this was my first time staining raw wood, so there was definitely a learning curve. And I started with pre-stain. This is important. It's a conditioner to make sure the wood absorbs the stain evenly. I let it sit for about 15 minutes and then wiped it off. Then it was time for the dark walnut stain. I applied it evenly over the whole top surface, let it sit for about 10 minutes, and then it was time to wipe it off. I'm not gonna lie, you definitely have to put a little elbow grease into this. While everything was drying, I started working on the drawer. I added beeswax to condition the wood and give it a nice new fresh look. After it was fully dry, it was time for the top coat. I added multiple coats of polycrylic to protect the finish. I also added new hardware to finish the look. I got these off of Amazon, and I feel like they really help to tie everything together. I added back the adjustable shelf. And here she is, Fusion mineral paint in Newell with a dark walnut stain top and brand new hardware. I could not be happier with how she turned out. To anyone who was worried about me painting this Ethan Allen piece, I hope this changes your mind. The wood is preserved, the piece is beautiful, and she's ready for a new home. I'm picturing this as a coffee or espresso bar for someone. If you enjoyed this transformation, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. I have some really exciting projects coming up and I post every Sunday. See you next week.